Hey y'all, doing our our fairly new, Thursday previews highlight video. Last week we went over Marvel, previews, and I did have a written list for DC. This is now the DC Connect, poster. This one actually, they're basically a month behind the regular previews, or at least we get them almost mid-month instead of beginning of the month. So you'll notice that a lot of this stuff, Batman Urban Legends, Crime Syndicate, was all stuff that I talked about last week. If I'll give it a quick once over, just again in case you didn't see that video, but these poster pre-order things are available at the store. We have a ton of them. So you can just grab one and, mark off what you're looking to get. So, like I said, we've got Batman Urban Legends, which is just a Batman-like anthology series with a bunch of different stories. Crime Syndicate, which is just basically kind of like a anti-Justice League, I want to say. That sounds about right. Infinite Frontiers, the big one. That one's the next, big event for DC. We've got Sensational Wonder Woman, which is, again, another, a lot of anthology series is kind of on this where it's multiple writers and multiple artists doing multiple stories. This one's, I think... it's the anniversary of Wonder Woman. I think it's for 75 years. I could be wrong. Suicide Squad and Swamp Thing, just new ongoing series. The Joker is a new ongoing series, and it kind of has to do with the Infinite Frontier stuff that happens, so you might want to pick up Infinite Frontier and then Jokers. Superman Red and Blue, again, another anthology series, a lot of old American homeboy Superman doing American things. We've got Teen Titans Academy. For those who are fans of the Teen Titans TV show, Red Hood will be popping up in this, and it's just basically kind of like an academy of young heroes. We've got Harley Quinn #1, just more Harley Quinn. So, again, there's a lot more on here, obviously returning series, other history of the DC Universe and stuff. But this is all the stuff that's out in March for DC. Again, DC will probably be a good, month behind on these videos. Graphic novels that are coming out, and these ones are the original graphic novels, which means that they didn't have issues that preceded them. No issues came out on our floor, just these graphic novels. Teen Titans Raven is a series that is out, but it's just getting an hardcover, which... Poison Ivy series, and then, these ones also, again, in that, young adult novel, the kid novel series. We've got Catwoman, Soul Stealer, and then Mystery of the Meanest Teacher, Johnny Constantine graphic novel, which I'm very hyped for that one because it's Ryan North and God, I can't remember the artist, but it's great stuff. We've got Batman and Lapse trade paperbacks coming out in April, which is neat because the hardcovers are expensive and paperbacks are not as expensive. Same thing with event Leviathan, which was a big event a couple months ago. Wow, almost a year ago now. Jeez. Got some of the death metal stuff coming out with it. Got that one in that Multiverse Who Laughs stuff, and DC Dead Planet hardcover. Again, all of the companies have a tendency to do that, where they'll release hardcovers, then soft covers, because obviously the hardcovers cost a little bit more. Although they are generally a little bit nicer, so if you're a hardcover person, they come out first, and that's convenient. Up next, we're going to go through Marvel. I'll front load, obviously, the popular series, and then previews will have, Boom and Image. So if you're into those, it'll be a little later in the video, but... So, obviously the big one they're advertising is Venom, but we've got Avengers 45 is going to be the last King in Black tie-in. As I said last time, King in Black will be basically finished by March, but April, it looks like we'll still have some quick storylines. Up next, Venom #200, so this is going to be the aftermath of Venom. It's just going to have some, It's the last Donny Cates and Ryan Stegman of the series, basically. It's their last issue. It's 200 because they're going for legacy numbers instead of the numbers it was at, if you're confused as to why it's now at 63 and then all of a sudden 200. But it's going to be the last of theirs. It's going to kind of wrap up Venom's storyline after King in Black and everything. It's got some red covers if you want to see about pre-ordering those. So, cool stuff. Marvel's looks like a cool, it's a different story each issue. This one's going to be old, Golden Age hero style people, like old World War II. Got some, like, some neat art and some neat, look at it. There'll also be another cover with, like, a Spider-Man fighting an old, but with new things, whatever. We've got Mighty Valkyries. Return of the Valkyries is happening in King in Black right now, where it's the Valkyries returning, basically. But we get more Jane Foster as a Valkyrie in this, so this will just be a continuing mini-series. It's 1 of 5. We've got... this one's cool, Women of Marvel. It's, again, another kind of like anthology series where it's a lot of different stories by a lot of writers and a lot of artists. The cool thing is obviously it's all about female, about, like women in Marvel, about the women heroes, but also, has a lot of women, artists and writers, almost exclusively. I don't think I saw anybody who wasn't. Peach Momoko's doing a variant cover, which I do love a lot. Up next, Wayfax, so continuing on the X-Men storyline. This is a Nightcrawler, obviously centric storyline. It's about him and a new group of kids. They find something devious on New Krakoa, the new place where all the mutants are living, and they have to go investigate. It looks really neat. I mean, obviously everybody loves Nightcrawler, so what you gonna do? I like Cy Spurrier and his stuff, so cute stuff. Squadron Supreme, if you don't know about it, I mean, it's pretty obvious from this. They're pretty obviously just Superman, Batman, and Wonder Woman. They're a different universe, but every once in a while you get a story with them. Cool people. Darkhawk is another one we don't get stories of often. He's a very 90s hero, but it looks like he's getting a nice, like, I don't want to say a reboot, but another thing, it's his 30th anniversary, which I don't want to think about him being 30 years away from the 90s, but, whatever. Black Panther number 25, not obviously, like, 25s or whatever, but Ta-Nehisi Coates' last issue is going to be that one. He is currently on, Captain America? Yeah, I think he's doing Captain America currently, so I guess he's just ending the Black Panther run that's been going on for a while, which I think rebooted, so I don't think it's technically, I think he's done more than 25 issues. We've got Guardians of the Galaxy number 13, just starting a new kind of team on here, so it's a good jumping on point if you want to jump on to Guardians of the Galaxy. We've got Aliens number 2, number 1 will be out in March. Ooh, we actually, funny enough, will be sending an email about that tomorrow, for all our pool customers, but, just Aliens, Marvel got access to the comic rights, so we've got that. Beep beep. Trials of Ultraman, if you were reading Rise of Ultraman, this is just basically the continuation. It's a 5-issue mini. This one I'm interested in, Spider-Man Spider Shadow. It's What If Peter Parker, I was going to say, it says it right there, yeah, What If Peter Parker Became Venom, but it's written by Chip Zdarsky, who is a store favorite. It's got some cool art. He did the, what was it, Life Story Spider-Man, that was really good. So, Black Knight, again, last week is back. It's number 2. Beta Ray Bill was going to jump out of King of Black and just become a regular series. So if you like Beta Ray Bill, you might want to get the King of Black tie-in. More Carnage, Black, White, and Blood. Again, just a lot of 2s and number 1s that came out last, like we announced and showed off last week. Yeah, more Eternals. We've got Spider-Man, Curse of the Man-Thing. Just to really, I don't know, this cover makes me actually kind of hyped for it. It's got some really cool colors on it. But just Man-Thing and Spider-Man in the same book. It's really cool. Man-Thing doesn't happen to pop up in the universe very often. We've got Amazing Spider-Man number 63 and 64 coming out this week, or this month in April. Miles Morales is going to be on number 25, but it's he's doing his own Clone Saga in this issue, so it's a good place to start if you haven't been reading Miles Morales and want to pick up Miles Morales. Again, just more continuations of some series. X-Men Legends is going to be at number 3. Just a lot. Marvel makes a lot of series. Children of the Atom, I think. I forget if that was last week or not, but it's a cool looking one. Always great. Immortal Hulk covers. More of the Phoenix storyline for Avengers. Yeah, Coates is on Bad Savage Avengers. Again, just a lot of continuations. I forget if there was anything else incredibly special in here. As I say, get your pre-orders in for, High Republics, if you haven't already. Otherwise, as you say, they've got a 40th anniversary one-shot issue, which looks neat. Again, going over the Stormbreakers, which they've been having a bunch of variants about. I don't think anybody wants Rhino. Marvel is going to start re-releasing, like, Alien comics, because I think they used to have the rights to it. But, lots of stuff. These ones are obviously free to pick up, so if you want to do a more deeper dive into Marvel stuff, it's free. You can stop by the store, pick them up. We've got so many of them. This Previews, on the other hand, is not. It is a much bigger book. But you can access this stuff on, I believe it's Previews World. If you're okay with, Previews World, it's up here. If you're okay with just digitally checking out your comics. But if you want a physical thing to check it out, it's only $3.99, so for as much book as it has, it is good. Where is my starting point? Probably there. I think it was just Geiger, right? Cool. Geiger. So starting off with Image just basically pays to be in front. We've got Geiger, which is, if you know anything about Geiger counters, it's about nuclear apocalypse world. But it is written by Jeff Johns, which is very interesting. He's a good writer, so just about a, post-apocalypse, but there's this one guy who's, feared by all and is rumored to not be able to go out on the surface without a suit. And his name is Geiger, which is incredibly on the nose, but it looks interesting. It looks like we get a chance to look at like his past and everything, and how he got to be where he was. We've got Old Guard, Tales Through Time. Old Guard itself is a book, and it's actually, funny enough, becoming a Netflix series. So if you wanted some more like side story in this series, if you've already read it, or if you wanted to just get some stories in of Old Guard before you watch the TV show, is there. We've got Helm Grey Castle, #1. This one seems interesting. The writer isn't anything like, no offense, it's not Jeff Johns. But it's got a Latinx, I guess, writing team on it, and they're doing a RPG to go along with the book. But a lot of the stuff in it is like Aztec and Mesopotamian and stuff like that. It's a really interesting. It looks like almost a generic fantasy, but it seems like a lot of the stuff is going to be based on like Latin American history and folklore and stuff, which seems neat and a different spin, because it's normally just American, or like Anglo, basically. We've got Home, #1. This one's a really interesting one. It's about mom and her kid. They're coming to the United States, so they actually do kind of like give this cool travel scene, and I assume this is like probably the first couple pages of the first book, but even showing off like the people getting on the top of the trains and stuff, making their way from Mexico into the United States. They get separated at the border, and the kid realizes that he has superpowers. So it seems like a super neat look into, stuff that's happening currently, but also with the twist of being, like supernatural. Really neat. This one's looked really cool. It's Jules Verne's Lighthouse. It's a, Jules Verne, obviously older writer, a very famous writer, who generally wrote he wrote sci-fi, he wrote some newer stuff, but this is a very, a very cool adaptation of something that wasn't very sci-fi. It's about a space lighthouse. Really neat. We've got Silver Coin, which is a horror anthology. Again, so many anthologies, but just a lot of writers, a lot of artists, and doing horror stuff. Again, Chip Zdarsky, a fan favorite, store favorite, is going to be doing one of the first stories, but it looks really neat. Looks really, I don't know. The artist does a good job of making everything look a little bit gruesome, a little bit unsettling. But cool stuff. Always like a horror thing. Summoner War Legacy. So this is based off the mobile game, Summoner War. You know, goes by that name. But so if you're a fan of the mobile game, that'll be coming out. Then it goes into just pretty much things that Image is coming out with that are already coming out. So, you know. Oh, cool. Yeah, we've got Commanders in Crisis Volume 1. So, Commanders in Crisis is currently coming out, but if you were looking to get, you know, the full story, it's a Steve Orlando story, which Steve Orlando is a great writer. Cool stuff. Decorum Hardcover is coming out. This one, again, has been coming out for a while, but it's a Jonathan Hickman book, which he's been killing it with the X-Men, so if you want to check out his, like, non-Marvel DC stuff, Decorum's a good one to pick. I forget if I mentioned Noctera. Noctera #1 is obviously coming out in March. It was last issue. But it's a Scott Snyder, like, fantasy apocalypse world. Like a lady in the apocalypse who's ferrying people between safe zones. Really cool looking one. Again, I forget if I mentioned it last time. So, see what happens, I think. No, I've got more stuff. Where am I? I've got more stuff in this. I think I forgot to notch my paper. So we've got Beasts of Burden from Dark Horse. Beasts of Burden has been an ongoing series, but it's a series about a group of dogs who do supernatural stuff, which, like, what more do you want from this? If you're talking Dark Horse, it's Mike Mignola. Obviously, he's just writing some more Mike Mignola stuff. This one's a cool, like, its own story. It doesn't have, as far as I know, anything to do with the Hellboy series, but about witches and a young witch discovering stuff. Really neat. Trying to think of what else I got. Oh, we've got Critical Role, Mighty Nine Origins, Jester Lavore. It's just more Critical Role stuff, so if you like the show Critical Role, you might like that. Obviously, they have, like, the old Vox Machina stuff as well, which was their last storyline on there. Tons of Cyberpunk stuff. Should actually unfold this page. Cyberpunk 2077, My Word, which is going to be the next, like, ongoing series they had. They just finished up Trauma Team. #1 of 4 will be out in April. And then Your Voice, which is just an original graphic novel, I think. Tons of Avatar stuff for people who just jump on Avatar. So, like, Avatar, The Last Airbender, Suki Alone is going to be the new storyline, where it's her connecting with, the last Avatar. Man, I can't even remember. Roshi. There we go. She's a Kyoshi Warrior. Avatar, The Last Airbender, Smoke and Shadow Omnibus. One that came out, but they're just doing an omnibus of them. They're doing really nice collections lately. And then Legend of Korra, animated series, book 2, Spirits art book. Just art. This one, Stranger Things Dungeons & Dragons just currently coming out, but the graphic novel's there, so that's cool. Jenny Zero looks like a cute kaiju. Cute. It looks like a fun kaiju story. I like to use cute a lot when I don't really mean cute, because she destroyed all the kaiju, or at least she thought she did. She retires because there's no more kaiju to fight, and obviously she's just on top and rich and whatever, so she has an alcohol problem and a drug problem. But then kaiju show up again, and she has to fight them, and she has to sober up. So it sounds like a really cool story. We've got Madman, Library Edition Volume 1. Library editions are just really nice, like, big hardcover editions usually. But Michael Allred's a really good writer and artist. And he wrote and drew this. Very good stuff. I don't think I had anything on that page. Again, just a lot of dupes. A lot of stuff coming out again. Got Kingdom Hearts. Dark Horse does a ton of art books. So, Kingdom Hearts art book. We've got a Apex Legend art book. Rick and Morty Trover video game art book. A weird one. And also, I was kind of excited about this, but Castlevania, Art of the Animated Series, and the Arkham Horror series, which is a board game series. I love them a lot, and that's actually cool, and honestly, the Castlevania series has been great, so I'm excited about that one, too. Excited about so much stuff. This This one looked cute. It's just a story about someone becoming viral and, like, internet famous, and the kind of, like, as I say, I think it's all a psychological exploration of modern media frontier. Just kind of a, you know, her journey from becoming, like, a nobody to a somebody and all the stuff that comes with. So, neat. We've got IDW starting. We've got Chibi Usagi, which is so cute. Look at all that. Look at it being so cute. And I mean, it's Usagi Yojimbo, which he's usually great anyway, so can't go wrong. More My Little Pony. We've got My Little Pony Transformers 2. If you didn't know, My Little Pony and Transformers crossed over. Friendship in disguise is the tagline. But now there's a second part of the story. It's a start 1 and 4 storyline. Also, I know one of Greg's favorites, Kanto, about a little Clockwork Knight. He's continuing his adventures, and now he's in the City of Giants. So, that one's actually cute. When I say cute, I mean cute. I know Godzilla vs. King Kong is, like, all over the internet right now, so we've got Godzilla, Monsters, and Protectors #1. A cute little Godzilla story about, you know, Godzilla and some kids that, you know, kind of support him. I don't know what the what the technical term would be for it. Where's my next bookmark? I guess it's there. Oh yeah, this one was neat. It's from Dynamite, but it's the Art of the Goosebump book, so if you were like me and you grew up reading these or watching the show, like, man, it just was, boy, was it art. It was cool stuff, but really neat that they're going to be doing an art book, kind of almost celebrating this guy's stuff, because, like, I feel like sometimes as kids' book stuff, it gets a little underappreciated, but there's some good work into making that stuff creepy. And, like, kid creepy. Now we're into Boom. This one was really neat. It looks interesting. The human race starts getting better and better, and all of a sudden we're, like, flirting with the idea of immortality. So, the avatar of death is basically just, they're not needed anymore. So, they basically shoot it, you know, is fired and relegated to the world below to live out her finite days in the body of a 20-something Leela star in Mumbai. Sounds super interesting, and apparently it's, like, slightly, you know, immortality's being flirted with, so the person is still on Earth, so, like, death has a chance to, like, almost interact and kill this person. It's super neat looking, and then, I mean, obviously, like, Mumbai is a crazy cool cultural center that has all sorts of different, you know, like, fashion and stuff, so it's, I'm kind of actively excited for it. It's a neat setting. It's a neat storyline. Okay, this one we've got, so Boom is doing a Magic, it's Magic #1, it's Magic the Gathering. You know, like the card game. These are the Planeswalkers, you know, we've got Jace and stuff. If you don't know anything about Magic, then it sounds really dumb what I'm saying, but basically it's just kind of a, it's just a Magic storyline, so if it's something that you're into, looks like there would be, like, a character that we're, you know, going to be following. And it looks like there's Magic Pack #1. Ooh. Man, I am falling off the ledge of this table. Cool. This one, so it's $40, but you get a collector's set of Magic #1 covers. So you basically get, like, almost a Magic card pack of all of the variants. So, like, you know, all of these variants plus some exclusive variants that only come out in this. Kind of a neat idea, but if you're into Magic the Gathering, you might be into this book. Who knows? Today, I think that was it for those. An Unkindness of Ravens, a cool storyline about witches from way back, the ones that survived Salem, but now. And it's really neat. They're basically kind of immortal. So I think I had Mega Man Fully Charged to line up, because that's just a good series that's coming out now. If you like Mega Man, the collection will be then. Then, you know, in April. What else? Beep beep doop. Dune House Atreides obviously will be continuing, but the graphic novel Volume 1's the first half of the story, well, the first third of the story, because it's 1 through 4, will be in Volume 1, if you haven't been catching up on that one. Got Jim Henson's Under the Spell. There's a neat story about Labyrinth, about one of the, like, the dolls, quote-unquote, like one of the people who are dancing in the ball scene with David Bowie and the girl from the movie. But one of them, like, gains sentience, basically, and tries to break out. Looks neat. The first issue was neat, and it's cool that, you know, like, it's going to be coming out in that. Wind, Book 1. Just Wind was a cool series that came out from them. And now you can get it in a collection. I think that's my next bookmark. Phantom Scan. It's a horror story, but it's done by Colin Bunn, who's just a known and he's just a good horror writer. Neat story about a guy who has psychic powers, but at a cost. The cost being that he, like, basically cuts years off his life, literally. Pretty neat. Project Patron seems really cool. It's Steve Orlando, again, another great writer. Basically, you know, Patron is this guy who came from another universe to protect the world, and he's great. He's literally Superman. And this is if Superman, you know, in Doomsday fight, they kill each other like they do in the books. But then the government basically goes, well, we can't have Superman die, so they make a fake Superman, and he's run by a team of people, basically. He's almost like a robot. But what happens when that team of people loses a person? Like, it seems neat, and it's cool that it's just, like, that's not actually the superhero, it's a clone type of thing. It's cool stuff. Also, again, Steve Orlando is a great writer, so I am expecting the book to be pretty good. Could be, you know, not as great in other hands, but we've got... I set aside this page literally only because, A, Living with Mochi, which is a story about living with a pug, which the cover is amazing. And then Fangs. Fangs is actually on Tapas? I think it's on Tapas. It's either that or Webtoons, one of the apps that you can get to read comics on your phone. But it's great. It's just a story about a vampire in the current age who's going out with a werewolf. And just all the silly stuff that happens in between that, so... Cute stuff, cute stuff. Where's my next bookmark? I should get those cool post-it notes that tell me where I'm going. I didn't highlight... Or no, wait, because it's a calendar, that's why. Why She Wrote, just a cool graphic novel about women writers. Just something you don't see very often. Also, apologies. Stuff is in here. Sometimes you just can't stop it. These are prose books, and obviously sometimes we have access to these. But it's it's stuff about Thrawn, who I know is the new big... He's been mentioned in the new series, the new Mandalorian series. I feel like maybe... So, maybe it's something you want to catch up on. It is something that we can order. Got a cool illustrated Frankenstein book. Frankenstein's in the, you know... Frankenstein and his monster in the public domain, so people can make books about him. This room is neat. It's done by... Wow, humanoids. It's about the Minneapolis music scene. This group, you know, like a bunch of groups are basically, you know, playing, they do stuff, but they really, like, you know, they're all about Prince, and they want to meet him, and this group gets a chance to meet him and be tutored by him, but it doesn't turn out to be what it seems. But it's really cool, and apparently it's like, you know, it's the ultimate love letter to the legendary Minneapolis funk rock scene of the 1980s. So, like, if you're into that stuff, if you're into Prince, which is, you know, who isn't? No, just kidding. You might like that. What do we got? Nothing on this page, but something on this page. We've got The Awkward by, wow, I did not try to remember that name beforehand. But, they've been doing great stuff, like the Brave series Crush, a series that a lot of kids and a lot of people are reading, so that's cool. Being a cosplayer, again, like, a lot of this weird stuff you find in the weird sections, but just a cool, like, I want to say an art book, but not an art book about, you know, being a cosplayer. There's so many, like, again, there's just so many books in this. and I am very heftily skimming it because I just don't have the time to go through all of it, but you can get this, you know? Again, you can get this, you can go on Previews World, check it all out, it's there. Agretzko, which is a great Netflix series if you haven't seen it. Hi, Vinny. Thanks! We appreciate it, actually. We appreciate it a lot, damn. We've got, Agretzko. It's a great Netflix series about basically just office work, except they're animals, and the one person, Agretzko is her name. She just really likes death metal music and uses it as a coping mechanism instead of, like, alcohol. It's cute, it's fun, it's really just good. The show's really good, and the books are, you know, super cute, so worth checking out. This one, let's get it in frame, is like a sequel? Oof. Is a continuation of the Ghost Hog series. Ghost Hog is a hog that is a ghost, go figure, but now he's dealing with dragons that are in race cars, so, like, keep it going, Ghost Hog, but, you know, if you like that first series, obviously, you know, an all ages reading series, but if you liked it, you'll probably like the second one. It's good stuff. What else? Oh, cool. We've got, Marvel books that are not in the Marvel section. Marvel Avengers Assembly, book 2, The Sinister Substitute. This is just a Unbeatable Squirrel, Miss Marvel, and Miles Morales book about them being in, you know, high school. But this is the second one in it. It looks really cool. The first one looked really good, honestly. The second one, even better. X-Men, but yeah. So we've got Doctor Who Missy #1. Just more Doctor Who comics if you're into Doctor Who. I will be honest, I don't know much about it. I just know that she was a villain in the series, but this one, she's interacting with the 3rd and 12th Doctor, so if they're anywhere near your favorites, you will probably enjoy that. Let's see. I've got cutbacks. Oh, we're into Valiant, so we've got Shadow Man #1, again written by Colin Bunn, who's just great at horror stuff. So, if you're into Shadow Man, into Valiant, old 90s heroes, he's there. He's there for you. We've got Radio Apocalypse from Vault Comics, just about the last radio station, Radio Apocalypse, that, you know, cool punk rock type of scene stuff. Where's my next bookmark? There's a lot of books. Trying to keep this, you know, short. We've got Manga. Manga's the next, like, biggest thing next to Marvel and DC. Honestly, it's technically slightly bigger than Marvel and DC. But we've got Codename Sailor V, who, if you don't know, is Sailor Venus. Spoiler alert for, like, the beginning of Sailor Moon. But we've got volumes 1 and 2 of that. And then they're doing Sailor Moon volume, these collections. Basically, they've already started doing the, they already started doing the Sailor Moon Eternal Edition. Yeah, I was gonna say, it's right there. Eternal Edition, but the Eternal Editions are almost, funny enough, as big as this book. These ones are going to be more manga-sized, which is nice, because those ones are very nice collector's editions, but if you don't really want a collector's edition, there's that one there. I know this is volume 2, but I'm sure volume 1 will be coming out soon, but Shaman King was, like, huge when I was a kid. And it was really cool. And it's neat that they're printing an omnibus for it. Also, again, there's so much manga. I'm not going to be able to go over nearly half of it. This is Kodasha, School Frozen Time Volume 1 starting. It's a cool psychological horror about kids stuck in a school. Looks neat. We've got Nightmare Before Christmas and Mirror Moon. They just did the Zero series, and now they're just doing like a bit more Jack Skellington focused issue. That one also looks cute. There's so much manga. I mean, obviously there's so many printers, but oh cool. There's Monster Hunter Illustrations Volume 1. Just cool illustrations of Monster Hunter monsters. I know the new game's coming out soon, so that one's gonna be there. Sailor Moon, Totally Spies, man. That needs to come back. Such a good, man, they're doing Winx. They can do Totally Spies. Just saying. wanted to highlight this. This one, funny enough, I think volume like 7's coming out of this, but we do have, or at least we did have, volume 1 and volume 2 of this. It's the original manga Pokemon series. It follows Red, not Ash. But it's just charmingly slightly different than the anime. Like, you can actually see Pokemon in the Pokeballs and stuff. It's really neat. Worth checking out if you're a Pokemon fan. If you're a serious horror fan, then you'll love Sickness, which is a Junji Ito. He is a master horror manga writer. He draws, like, the creepiest type of stuff. And it's this guy who goes back to his hometown because a bunch of girls are dying. And he finds this incredibly handsome guy and has to discover, like, the mystery. And, man, it's good stuff. Like, I've read some of his stuff, and, like, it haunts me to this day. like, stuff just pops up in my head still and goes, like, oh, yeah, that horrific thing happened. I read that. Viz is just all the stuff that I care. So, My Hero Academia Volume 27 will be out in April. We've got, Jujutsu Kaisen, Volume 9 will be out in April. Demon Slayer, Volume 21 in April. And Chainsaw Man, which is a new popular favorite, out, Volume 4 out in April. This one was cute, Askawada. It's just a cool little, book going over Satoru Iwata's, like, life and, like, words of wisdom from him, because he did Askawada's, like, all the time. He was the head of Nintendo for a while until he passed away, fairly recently, like 2009 or something like that. Which was a shame, because he was a great guy. But, cool stuff. What else we got? But again, there's so much. Yeah, Pokemon Volume 7 comes out. Isadora looked cute. It's a mystery. A deadly typhoon, a mysterious creature, and a girl who won't quit. It looks super cute. Again, Volume 2's out in April. Volume 1 might be out soon. What else we got? Manga stuff gets kind of weird sometimes, so just bear with me on that one. School Zone Girls, just a cool, like, slice of life story about two girlfriends who kind of act weird to spice up their school life because school's boring. And, like, same. School be boring. What else? Oh, yeah, we were all joking about this shirt because we're all Muppets fans. Muppets is great. Let's flip over real quick, because the toys go in the opposite direction. We've got these neat Final Fantasy, like, polygon characters. I love the polygons from the original game, but, like, I don't know. They're super cute. They're going to be, MSRP $7.99 each, although they apparently will have, like, the full display. Obviously, it would be $64. It's just add up $8 times the amount of characters that are in it. Let's see what else we got. Oh, these little Grogu Mandalorian. They had, like, ones for Mandalorian Season 1. Now these are just Season 2 Grogus. What a name. What else we got? Ooh, yeah, this one was big. The Avatar Gallery Diorama series. We've got a bunch of these. They're like the $50 statues. They're really nice for $50. I mean, obviously they're plastic, but really good sets. Let's see. What else we got? Oh, just a giant My Hero Academia page. I think there's some more information about these later. Like, because this page doesn't happen to include prices on a lot of this stuff, because the statues range anywhere from, like, $24.99 to, like, $200. So, like, it's always a fun time figuring out prices on things. These are really niche, and I don't know how many people are going to care about them, but Tamagotchis that are Demon Slayer themed and Evangelion themed are super rad, and I really hope people are excited about these, because they look super cool. We've got, I know, a couple people already asked about these, but the Marvel Legends, it's Into the Spider-Verse, and we've got an X-Men Legends line of X-Men Legends figures. On any of these, I mean, obviously pre-order them. We can always order a whole set, especially if you do it at pre-order. We've got Mario figures. We've got, like, you know, more Marios, more, like, Boos and stuff, which is neat. And then also we'll probably be getting these Power Ranger lines, because they're popular lines. Oh, the Tamagotchis, man, I can't keep up with those Tamagotchis anymore. I got like a knockoff one recently and it died immediately. Again, those Grogu's, they've got the prices on them for $15.99 for them. They're really cute. They're kind of tiny, but like, they're super cute and good. Oh, and then, this one, which is a cute little, like, plush, but then he zoops away into into the ball that he floats in the show. Again, very cute. Float over this. Oh, man. We've got Dragon Ball Z figures again. Like, the prices are kind of there, but some of them can be a bit more pricey than others. Actually, all of these are $24.99, which is nice. Really good lineup of figures. Again, My Hero Academia ones. Yeah, like these ones on top are 50 instead of 24. Those are 24. That one's 24. Some One Piece ones as well. What else do I got? Oh, we got a Demon Slayer figure. Man, they are releasing these Demon Slayer figures so slow. It's like I got a million. They got this one, but like, it's $129. That's too much. I don't got enough money for that. Some Naruto figures. We're getting a cool, like almost, I don't know. I feel like Naruto never carries a scroll on his back. It's very, like concept arty. Sailor Moon, just chibi, little figures. They're cute, but they're $10.99, which is honestly a pretty good price for those guys. We're just gonna kind of flip. Oh yeah, this one. I mean, obviously, so we've got Mandalorian little window clings, so like Little Bounty or This Is the Way. So they're just window clings that, pop on your car window. We also have access to these, so we don't normally get cardboard cutouts, but I mean, we're thinking about getting the child one, because normally, like, the full cardboard cutouts are around $40 for all of them, but Grogu himself alone is just $20, because obviously he's much smaller than the other cutouts. But if this is something you'd like to get, you want to get a Jetpack Mando or something like that, let us know. We can always order them. You probably have to get pre-orders in on these ones, because they're going to be popular, but, I mean, like, if you want that, they're life-size cardboard cutouts. We can do that for you. Nothing crazy. And then we've got, we'll be releasing doing probably an email blast about these. But we are getting in these Mandalorian, like, trading cards. They'll have little scenes from the show. We'll have some promo packs with signatures. I mean, obviously these ones will be printed, but we'll have some promo packs with, like, actual signatures from the actors, I think is the way it's going to work. Either way, but we'll have these, they're nice little, like, cardboard cards if you're a big Mandalorian fan. But we'll send out an email, like I said, soon, next week or so, talking about this, because it's a whole card thing. So, that's neat. But, yeah, that's it. That's the previews. Like I said, there's always a ton of stuff in these that we don't have a chance to look at. There's just so many comics. There's a lot of comics. Comics are so many. So, if any of these looked interesting to you, if you already have a pull list, you can call us or email or even comment on the video. Let us know what you want. If you don't have a pull box, you can go to levelupentertainment.com and hit subscribe to comics in the top banner and fill out the information. Or you can stop by the store and we can get it for you and you can start, pulling comics and pre-ordering them. It helps us a lot because sometimes, I mean, we just don't know what you want. We're not psychic. So if we don't think anybody wants Guardians of the Galaxy, we just won't order a bunch. So it really, really helps us when you do come in and say, like, oh, I'm so excited for this. Even if you just come in to say you're excited about it and want to buy it. That's great too. But pre-ordering is even better. Costs you nothing. Means a lot to us. But anyway, that's it. I hopefully kept this down to a decent amount of time and not a ton of time. And we'll catch you around next month.